Oh, there we go. We are live.
Yeah,
Hello out there on YouTube. How you guys doing? We are the Love Gurus podcast. Intro music. Thank you, Joel.
You think your love life is going kind of bad?
Yeah, Love Life sucks.
You found out your girlfriend accidentally banged your dad.
It was Thanksgiving.
That hooah.
You think your romance maybe ain't the norm. If you find out your fiance has been slipping it to your mom.
Again, it's just a
ask
wild
the love gurus
Thanksgiving.
to tell you
Holiday,
what
man.
to do.
What are you going to do?
Wine
Listen to
boxes.
the love gurus, or your life is screwed.
Yes.
Love gurus.
Oh, thank you.
Remix.
We are the Love Gurus podcast. Yes, we remix the intro every time. Nice little crossfade at the end.
So amazing. Again, huge thank you to Joel. I mean,
Yes.
who is not excited? Okay.
I'm
I guess.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was leaning away from the mic to do tech stuff, and then it sounded like, no, I'm
Do
not
not
excited at all.
pander to the to the ones who've given up their microphone.
Not excited at all, but that's not true. I am fucking excited, man. We are going to take ridiculous dating questions from Reddit and you guys in the chat. So definitely tune in at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, unless it's a little later because I'm having tech problems like now, you know. But I'm excited. We're going to have a good episode. We have two amazing guests. First up, she's a hilarious stand-up comic, first-time guest of the podcast, Lizzy Cassidy. Thank you for being on the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Lizzy Cassidy and on Twitter at Lizaster, L-I-Z-Z-A-S-T.
Lizaster.
Great
I like that.
handle.
That's
Love
a damn
it.
Thanks
good
so
one.
much. Thanks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And second guest, another hilarious stand-up comic, another first-time guest, Mr. Grant Sheffield. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Grant Sheffield1. You can find me on Twitter at Grant Sheffield.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And then maybe I don't know if is it convenient to like lower your microphone just so like they can see your face, or were you doing that on purpose, or is there
I'm just
like
not
an
a
X
smart
or
person.
something that
I'm
you're
just- Oh
You're
no, I wish they could
you're
see
like
this.
Suzanne, I'll do you guys' podcast, but I'm gonna hide my face the whole time because this crazy person is after
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah, maybe I was going to
Dude,
say
straight up.
maybe the
Respect.
cartel's looking for him.
I thought I was gonna break everything. I was like, let me not fuck shit up. Sit still. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great. Well, it's yeah, so it's December. Again, I feel like I've said this the last few episodes. It is, again, people are getting crazy because the holidays make everyone crazy. Like it's, our families make us crazy. But I would say if there were a theme for tonight's episode, it would be hobbies and your not fixes, but I guess like habits, hobbies and habits, really, I think, to give a bit of a preface for these questions.
And hobbits. Some of them
And
are small.
hobbits. Yeah, it's
Perfect.
we on the Love Gurus never feet shame people. We don't care what your feet look like. We don't care if you have footballs for feet or big hobbit feet or little teeny tiny feet. We love all feet on not in like a masturbatory way though.
Well, but not necessarily not in a masturbatory way. Sometimes we like the really weird feet too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got our preferences.
Sometimes it's you read it and you're just like, wow, I might go take a nap and get my vibrator out. What? I would never do that.
Where did
So-
you find a vibrator shaped like a foot? That's ridiculous.
Oh my god!
This is insane.
But like that would kind of be, I mean, anatomically speaking, I would feel like you could get it to fit in different places. You know what I mean? Like, it's
It would
almost
at
like,
least be different.
yeah, it would
Yeah.
be different, but like almost in the sense of like kill two birds with one stone. Know what I'm saying? Like kind
Yes.
of
Not exactly, but yes.
Say more.
get an orgasm with 5 toes instead of one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay.
5 birds with
As
one
opposed to
stone
the
is the name of,
usual
it,
one
of that
toe.
company. Yeah.
Listen, one time I dated this guy with just the big toe. Took me hours to come. One guy with all 5 toes. I mean, I'm not saying you could play the piano with them, but you get the visual.
As a foot fetish guy, I once dated a woman whose toes were crooked like little Nike swishes, and I was horrified.
Why? Because they could clamp on, sort of like a.
Those toes were my Vietnam. Yeah, it was awful. I still have scars from them.
I dated a foot fetish guy, and it was great.
Really?
Yeah, I love
Really?
No
it.
shit.
Yeah, because he always would rub my feet constantly.
Oh, nice.
And then he always wanted to come on my feet.
He wanted to come on the feet.
Is way easier to clean than your face.
Now, was this at like I also feel like this would be like at the beach, and so you just like walk over to like in the beach they have just those showers for your feet.
Yeah.
You know,
It was exactly like that. You could just walk over to the shower.
Yeah.
Instead of like closing your eyes and being like, "Can you hand me like an old T-shirt?"
yeah,
like, you can
it's
just,
you don't have to
It's
like
handled.
blow your nose,
Totally.
etc. Oh my god, that does
Yeah.
actually kind of sound great. So, so we also need to introduce the last guest of the podcast.
Yeah. The unofficial fifth member. Also, we have Colin and Amy here too. We have like a
We
live
have
audience. We have
audience!
and we have you guys on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Joel on YouTube? How's it going, man? He says the close-up hotness of Suzanne is wonderful, but wow, there's a big Jake.
That's a big.
That's true. Oh my God, it's Mega Jake! How are we gonna defeat Godzilla? We have to summon Mega Jake. He's just gonna show up, all fucking hang over and hit him with his beer gut.
There
It's
are
gonna be
Japanese
ridiculous.
children crying right now because we got new camera angles. And
Yeah, boom. Camera one, camera
Yeah.
two. Camera
Yeah.
one, camera
Whoa.
two. Wide angle. Bam. There we go. Tim on YouTube says no tickle torture. Yeah. I skipped Joel's.
Yeah.
Joel says I gave up my foot fetish when I was married to an amputee. She was head and shoulders above the rest. Yes.
That's funny.
If there's nothing I don't love more than a good amputee fuck pun, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. But
yeah.
let me introduce the fifth member of the podcast, the white wine.
Ooh.
Woo.
First drink there. We are drinking a Piqui Vino Blanco. It is shaped like a fish. Look at that. Huh? Yeah, that's amazing. And it has no back label. This feels illegal as fuck.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
to go read the back, and it was like, I mean, there's nothing there. This
Yeah.
thing... Amy, did you buy this out of a van? Like, what
It
the
does.
hell?
It definitely
Wow.
looks like street wine, like the equivalent
Yeah.
to street furniture. If there was such a thing as street wine, this is street wine. But
Yeah,
a beautiful bottle.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tastes good.
I mean, yeah, my hometown was so trashy. You'd walk downtown and you'd hear the guys going Coke, weed, but sometimes you would hear them say street gin. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Street gin.
She bought it out of a
Ooh,
souvlaki
yeah.
truck. Yeah.
A souvlaki truck. Yeah.
I need 2 souvlaki fishes.
A fish wine bottle definitely sounds like something a Greek person would produce.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to stay sauced all day like a fish on land? Then you can't do better than Piqui Vino Blanco. Or Bianco.
Bianco.
Yeah. Or it might be a lowercase L. I don't know. No, that would be uppercase. It's all uppercase. It would be fucked up if the whole thing was in caps lock except for the L. That would just
Yeah.
fuck me up, dude.
Yeah.
It does make sense though. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I decided to read it that way. But either way, man, this stuff's pretty good, and it's got a cool bottle. Don't know what's in it. I might go blind by the end. But, OPC Vino Bianco. Get you some. Oh, this is, imported from the Adriatic coast. Suzanne, I'm fucking dumb. Where's the Adriatic coast?
Sounds Greek. Let me look.
It's like generally European.
Generally
That's a good
European.
bet. That's
Yeah.
a good bet.
Like kind of European, but
Yeah.
kind of not, like
Yeah,
Boretti.
I like
Is
that.
it
I would-
Borat
Isn't
wine?
it between Europe and Africa?
I
No?
think.
If this Borat wine, that makes sense that it's in a giant
Yeah.
fish.
So we're
I'm
Where's the
super
fish
dumb.
wine?
I
We're
don't
talking.
know.
We're talking
I'm a moron,
between
don't ask me.
like this might be like a Croatian, Bosnia, Herzegovina.
This is perfect music for that then.
Greece isn't far away, so I feel
Drink
like
my fish
if we're
wine
in
while you
Astoria-
smoke hookah and double park on
Yeah.
Steinway Street.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Adriatic Sea is it's the little sea. It's between the Italy boot and Croatia.
Oh, there you
So,
go.
There.
Fucking A, man.
We
were
learned
kinda right on
something,
that.
which
Yeah.
is not typical on the Love Gurus podcast.
Goddamn
Not-
right. This show is
Our MO.
educational. Show it to your fucking kids. Show it to your kids. Make them smart. Make
Oh,
'em
you're
smart.
tired of the at-home Zoom teaching? Listen to the Love Gurus, you third graders!
Your kids will date guys with foot fetishes. They'll
Yes. Oh my God.
Mommy,
Stranger
Daddy, what's a foot
danger.
fetish?
And then they won't get pregnant.
Yeah.
They're coming on the feet.
We are totally preparing the next generation.
I once got a lady pregnant by coming on her feet, but she was part fish. You know, like, it was different.
That sounds like that Willem Dafoe Robert Pattinson movie.
Which one?
The Lighthouse, I think, where he like has
The
sex
Lighthouse.
with a mermaid, and it's rumored, it's rumored that on set Robert Pattinson came to completion. As in, I guess he had to like masturbate for a scene, and he did until he actually came.
That was the one part he decided to method act.
I guess we're okay with it.
That's ridiculous.
Good for him.
Hey, Daniel Day-Lewis, the masturbation
yeah,
scene?
I guess like that's okay method acting. Whatever. I'm not.
What a day
The
at
time
work.
to
Oof.
come on a mermaid is now.
What if they needed like more takes after he
Yeah.
finished?
I'm fresh out of juice. I got nothing
Yeah.
else. Like,
Yeah. It's
Get some blue pills in him and get this scene perfect.
That's got to be a continuity nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. It's there's got to be like a fluffer on the side. You know, again, it's and really the reason why I'm bringing this up is there's really no difference between porn and what Robert Pattinson does on stage. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
True.
Up top.
Joel on YouTube says, "Are you sure that the bottle of wine wasn't bought by leaving the money behind a tree slump here in Tennessee, or a tree stump in Tennessee? That's the way we buy shine. Leave the money on the stump and come back a few minutes later. That's awesome."
Oh, that's actually really
That's
great.
cool.
Yeah, that's some like 30s shit, dude. That is some like prohibition. I love that you guys are still doing prohibition shit now.
Oh, yeah.
After alcohol's been legal again for pretty much everyone's lifetime that's currently alive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, New York
That's
City
amazing.
is full of speakeasies,
Yeah.
you know?
I
Yeah.
know.
I love
and
that it's a speakeasy, but like it has a sign that says speakeasy. I'm like,
Speakeasy,
oh,
yeah.
these dumb
It's-
motherfuckers know what a
Yeah,
speakeasy is.
super Googleable. All of this.
Yeah.
They would have never done that back
It's
in
like
the day.
all-
It's just code for rich people.
Yeah,
All the drinks
exactly.
are $31 because you have to ring a bell to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I once had a coworker that he said that there were places like where he lived in Mexico where you would basically go up, knock on the wall, and they would lower down like a shoebox, and you'd put money in the shoebox, and then they reel it back up, then they would lower back down a really nice bottle of tequila.
Wow.
Sometimes
that's
they
pretty cool.
actually just took your money, didn't give you any tequila, but you had to take that risk because it was apparently
Wait,
such good tequila.
you buy tequila like they buy crack in the show The Wire?
I'm
Like
just-
with
Right,
just
right.
lowering it down the window?
Yeah. This
Hide
is-
the tequila, Omar's coming.
This, that's what he told me, and I had no reason to not believe him because
Wow.
because I got one of these said bottles of tequila for Christmas. It was delicious. You know,
Yeah.
it was excellent.
It better be if I'm going to all that trouble and
Yeah.
possibly getting shot while hanging out.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know. I think he was fine. But we have a lot of good questions, a lot of people to help this week. I must say.
absolutely. First question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you have any questions to write them into loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, watch live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern and ask us your question in the comment section, or just comment. Just comment on anything we're doing, anything whatsoever, and we will read it on the show. But for now, we're going to take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit.
First question. My boyfriend always has a big poo before sex, and then it really stinks and puts me off.
Sweet.
I'm not very.
She called it a poo.
I'm not very experienced when it comes to living with men. I'm 31 and my boyfriend is 32. My boyfriend and I have sex 2 to 3 times a week. We wash and brush our teeth beforehand because we're both considerate and hygienic people. I'm
There you
quite
go.
clean at using the toilet. I don't drink alcohol and I always eat healthy. He drinks often and snacks late at night.
Here, sir.
Yeah.
This guy's
He's a dude.
After washing and brushing his teeth, he also has a dump, like every single time.
He's regular. That's good.
Yeah, he does.
I know this because multiple times there's poop stains in the toilet or it smells really bad when he opens the door. It grosses me out a bit, but I understand that it's normal. But he does it, and it puts me off sex because it's always right before. A few times he's even gone in first, and then I've gone to go brush my teeth. He firmly shuts the bathroom door and stops me and blocks me, and then just tries to guide me to the bedroom.
All right, that's a dick move. Look, there's a code. Like, if I'm going to take a dump, and my wife has to use it.
Yeah.
Or if I even suspect she may be using the bathroom for anything. I'm
Sure.
talking hair stuff. I'm talking taking a bit. I go, hey, do you need to get in there because I also drink and eat a lot. This could take anywhere from 2 minutes to a half an hour.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Full
it's-
sitcom, bro.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah,
I'm
man.
at. Like, I'm going to nuke the bathroom.
100%, dude. I mean, I gotta bring headphones in there. I gotta have Netflix on my phone.
Men poop forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, men
Uh-huh.
are always like, women take so long to get ready. And then the second I'm ready, you have to take a 40-minute shit before we leave.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
get
ridiculous.
that.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't understand because it's, men do just take, and I don't know if it's like their me time, but it's phones. Like, there's like
Every guy I've dated, I've been like, he's jerking off. It
yeah.
has to, because they always have their phone, and it takes forever. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
I
here's
get
here's what's so
suspicious.
sad about it. As a dude, it doesn't start off that way.
Yeah.
When I was
Yeah.
in my 20s, I mean, it was
I
in
think
and
that
out.
it doesn't start off like you're planning on jerking off, but you eventually just do.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're in there long enough, you know.
it's like I need to.
yeah.
Hands
Two
are down,
birds.
phone's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to bring up X Hamster for the halftime show.
So her ending question is, I'm super turned off by this, and when he opens the bathroom door, it stinks and my entire mood disappears. How am I just being a baby, or is there something I can do to help this situation? So it is. I agree, and
Okay.
my partner does this as well. Like, if he has to poop, he says, "Do you need the bathroom?" It's gonna be a minute, And again,
Yeah.
like, that's again sort of a quarantined area. For
Sure.
45 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm only 38. When I'm in my 70s, it's going to be an all-day event, dude. I'm going to have to just
Yeah.
block off whole
Yeah.
chunks
maybe
of my...
Or
this
it'll
is-
be too fast.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be
That's a
the
good
other
point.
extreme. It's
Yeah.
going to be like,
Maybe-
I didn't even make it to the bathroom. That's how
Exactly.
quick
Maybe
it was.
this is
Yeah.
why men typically die before women, is because you guys stress your little hearts out so much by taking such big poops.
You need to. What are you doing?
Of course, Elvis died on the toilet at that age. That's where he's spending a good third of his day.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
now
sure.
this is super gross, but this question has already brought us to that point.
I like that it
think.
hasn't gotten gross yet.
Are you, for guys, because for women, again, for me personally, it's like if I'm in there for 8 minutes, it's like a long time where I like have diarrhea, right?
Wow.
For sure, yeah.
But for guys, they're in there for so long. Are you pushing the whole time?
Absolutely not.
No,
Okay.
yeah, you
No, no,
gotta.
You're just hanging
yeah.
out.
You're taking breaks.
Uh-huh.
You gotta take breaks. You gotta rejuvenate.
Oh, do
It's
you remember- do
you guys
remember-
are
yes.
you're in labor. The baby just
Yeah.
hasn't come yet. Okay, and you're
Exactly.
having contractions.
You're crowning,
They're-
then it goes back.
They're 3
and you're
minutes
like, all right.
apart. Okay, now
Yeah.
they're 2 minutes apart. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like in those breathing classes, the Lamaze or
Lamaze,
whatever.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't just go, listen, push the whole time.
Yeah.
Push. Like it's not like Mickey from Rocky going in there, push the one in the middle, kid. You gotta push that baby out like lightning. Like
Yeah.
it's not, they're going, he, who, he. That's
Okay.
it's it. We do
Yeah.
the same thing, dude. It's like Lamaze. You have to take breaks. And then you have to save up your strength and then use it at the right time. It's a lot like the tug of war scene in Squid Game. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
There's a
What,
technique. there's a-
Spoilers.
choreographed by an old guy? What?
yeah, the guy
Touche.
who's good at taking long dumps. Yes, Korean Christopher Walken. He learned.
Christopher Walken.
Yes, he learned that technique because if he hadn't learned that technique, he'd be taking like 2 hours dumps.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So her question is, look, this is something that he does, and she's fair in the sense, she's like, I can't like police this behavior necessarily, but she also can't get the mojo going again when you're just like smelling this like massive shit that's
I think
happened.
this lady needs to generally chill out.
Yeah.
Because she's like, we have sex 2 to 3 times a week and we always wash our hands and brush our teeth. And it's like, just fuck each other.
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to be such a thing?
And also
that's what's killing the mojo, not his poops.
Yeah, it's
Like-
because you can't tell me that she doesn't have the most organized spice rack.
For sure.
She's like,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
eat healthy. I always clip my nails, and I
Yeah.
take the
And like,
fingernails
what's
and
the
make
sex
sure that.
like?
Yeah.
She's like, we do 3 minutes of missionary, and then I turn around. I don't know. Like, I just think she
Oh,
needs
she
to fucking relax.
she does not turn around. This is not.
No,
This is not a rotating sexual partner. This is a.
No, she turns around just to scream into the pillow because the bed's being messed up. Other
Yeah,
than that,
She sounds like
Yeah.
she's in one of those weird, obscure New Age churches where eye contact means you go to hell or whatever, and so she can't do any of that. They
Yeah.
got all these fucking rules they gotta follow.
Yeah. Okay. So to be fair, so I don't know. I guess, sometimes a lot of the questions I think are black and white that we answer, but this one I can get it. And I agree with you. I think that she needs to calm down. And let's also, the fact that you guys are having sex 2 to 3 times a week, like, I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, bragger.
Yeah.
Why you bragging, bro?
It's only 2 to 3 times a week. But also, it's, there's other things that you can do. You can also just like mention it to him and say, hey, why is your first, do you have no friends? Why is your first resource the internet, that you're asking this question? Secondly, it's called air freshener, and it's actually a very popular product in most retail stores. Just get some like fucking air freshener. By the way, which reminds me of a story. One time I was in CVS, and this is the meanest. There was this super camp guy in there, and he was like shopping.
What does camp mean?
It's like, camp guy. It's like,
Like he likes, like outdoorsy?
Just like lots of like hand flicking, very like put together, like that sort of thing.
Some would say flamboyant. Maybe?
Or am I not allowed? Are we
I
not
love
allowed
how
to say that
progressive
anymore?
like everything is anything descriptive is like evil now. So you can't. I don't even know what the hell you're
am
talking
I
about.
gonna get canceled for now talking?
Camp is like musical theatery.
Yeah, no, this is like this
even
was
like a
just,
straight guy who does musical theater is probably pretty camp.
Oh, this guy knew all the words
I can't
to
wait to
Funny
look at
Lady.
this word
Does that
later.
Okay, yeah. So that kind of person. This other older dude walks by. Yeah, he didn't smell the greatest. The camp guy took up a can of air freshener as this guy is like literally 3 feet away and goes, ew, and sprays the entire aisle in CVS.
Oh my God.
And I was like, damn, that is cold. I mean,
I love that.
That's pretty
I
wild.
love that. I think we
wait
should all
till
be
he's
doing
like,
that.
but wait till he's like gone around the corner.
No, because
But people have terrible
BO
BO though, right? Like we just deal with that in New York City. Like, all right, people should smell bad all the time. No, actually, this is spray.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
it
smell like
was-
this outside.
Yeah.
Right.
That guy was not the superhero that CVS wanted, but goddamn it, he's the one they needed.
Yeah, it's anyway. But yeah, so his problem again, stinky poops, whatever. It's get some air freshener, and then at least that would kind of alleviate the problem. But also, is the problem he has to have a dump right before sex, and that's his thing? Why can't he just like take a dump, then you wait 20 minutes for the air? And he knows this about you, so his job is then to come back up and be like, hey baby, like romance you a little bit,
I also don't like that she's clocking poops. I don't like that so much.
Yeah. You're supposed to act like you don't notice.
Yeah. I don't want someone tracking my money. I don't want someone telling me what how I can wear my hair. I also don't want someone telling me when I can poop.
Right.
Okay.
Dump shamer.
So I think I agree. I think that's my final advice is just get some air freshener, talk to him about it, and then work your schedule out so that you can get your mojo. And as Lizzie said, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean,
Just fuck regular,
Yeah.
just fuck regular. That should have been the name of this podcast. Just fuck regular. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because if you really have to take a dump, it's gonna be tough having sex, depending on how bad you gotta go. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be
like a
distracting.
You're saying if you don't take the dump before sex.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, you want them to take the dump before sex. Do you want him to shit on your taint? That's also going to ruin the mood.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And your Egyptian
This
cotton
woman
sheets.
would kill herself.
Yeah, she would.
For
Yeah.
real. Like that'd be her only option. If he shit on her taint,
Right.
she'd kill herself.
Oh yeah,
She
the
would-
same
she
lady
would-
was like,
Sure.
I can't kiss without brushing my teeth and washing my. Oh, there's shit on my taint.
Dude,
Now
if
she's
that
killing
happened to her, she would Myanmar activist herself and just burn herself in front of the embassy. I've been shit on!
I will light myself on fire like a protest monk. It is the only way I can be clean. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have to just let him do it and then wait a bit. So you could either have that conversation with them like an adult, which you won't do because you would have done it already.
Yeah.
So what I say is fight doo-doo with doo-doo, so to speak.
Ooh.
After he gets done, you go in there, and you take a little bit, and you know what I mean? I know you're not really going to be doing it unless you do indeed have to go. Maybe take some, while he's in there, he probably takes long ones. You take laxatives. Yeah. So the whole time he's in there, you've got one coming up, so you can do an authentic one. Honestly, I think you could just fake it. You know what I mean? Like you're going to do later. Hello. But I think that you could just get in there and make straining sounds and then come out just like, woo, all right, let's do this. You know, see how he likes it. And then honestly, this could backfire though.
Oh, for sure.
Because he might not care
because
whatsoever.
Also,
I feel like you wouldn't.
Yeah,
You probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Also, your situation is not producing the stink that is turning her on. Like if she's going to do that, it makes sense. But I see what you're saying. And then maybe she takes laxatives and then goes in and takes a massive dump before him and is like, hey, baby.
Oh, and then she ruins his like sacred dump time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like he's ruining sex, but she can ruin his like 40-minute look at my phone and slowly poop time.
You have
Yeah.
defiled
Yeah.
the sanctity of my
Yeah.
dumptuary.
Yes, I love that for
He
her.
stood outside the door about to
Yeah.
squelch in his pants, and she's inside thinking, bitch. You know, and maybe that's the power play she needs. you
Yeah.
know, to
She
come.
strikes me as like a 6-minute dumper, so I don't think she would like it so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
get
think
that.
she
Yeah.
waits until the last minute so no one ever knows she's pooping.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't disagree.
You,
Yeah,
you
or-
think she sets a very quiet alarm at like 3 a.m. and just kind of sneaks
Yeah,
in there?
yeah.
There's also that trick that you can do if you're like in a place and you don't want anyone to know that you're pooping, and you like put some toilet paper in the
I
toilet.
just learned about this.
So that
Huge.
it gives it a soft landing, so it doesn't. You know, there's
Okay.
no plop.
It
You
doesn't
know, it's
plop.
just.
You're taking dumps like
I've learned
Tom
2 things
Cruise
tonight
in
already.
Mission Impossible.
First camp and now
This is
this.
crazy.
Oh, and where the Adriatic Sea is. You're welcome.
That's 3. Wow.
This is how spies take a dump. Normal people don't do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah. So perfect. Yeah. So do we have any final advice, or I think we answered it.
This is how John Travolta took a dump in Pulp Fiction right before he got shot.
Oh my God! If there's one thing John Travolta is good at, it's hiding things. So his dumps are no problem.
Right.
Okay.
But when he's taking a dump, for some reason he always talks like Welcome Back, Kotter. Oh, no one can know I'm taking a dump in here. Like that. No matter what movie
this
he's in.
toilet paper needs to be as white as the suit I wore on Saturday Night Fever. Otherwise, I won't use it. But
Let me read. I'm
yeah,
behind
some
on some YouTube comments here. So
Other comments?
Joel says the girl needs to watch Ace Ventura. Do not go in there. Joel says this woman should feel blessed. She now knows for sure that she isn't interested in scat. Yeah, that's true. That's one way to find out. You know. I think the people that are into scat, they know that. You either know you're into.
But can you
dump porn
imagine
or
finding out? Like if someone like accidentally shit while you're having sex, like
Yeah.
that guy, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you were like, oh no, I love this.
Yeah.
But I say this all, you know, you think about those people that they set the Guinness World Record for, you know, insane things like bouncing ping pong balls or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like, how do you know that you're good at that?
Yeah.
You know, unless you have some instance like that where it's like,
Right.
oh, I accidentally shit the bed. I also just came.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who have accidentally pooped during sex. So I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, it can happen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
okay.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, if you haven't pooped the bed during sex, you're not on the cool kids table.
Grow up,
There you
dude.
go. There you go.
I mean, I've never accidentally pooped during sex.
I've never like purposely, but it was like,
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah.
I've never done
Wow.
it without getting paid first.
There you go. Okay. I like that.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. I just
Most
fell
guys
off
aren't into it, but the guys that are, by golly, will they bust that credit card out. It is a pay site for those fellas.
Oh, and there's actually a slot where you can slide it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I actually did go home I took a girl home when I was in college who said I'm into like I have like a scat fetish. Is that cool with you? And I was like, I don't really like scat, but yeah, I'll do it. So she gets in the
Like
bedroom
it's jazz?
and we
Right,
get naked,
right.
and I start going.
And I'm like, beep-bop-boop-bada-boop.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Wait, oh my God. That's what I learned what scat was. I didn't, I learned there's 2 kinds of scats that day. And I should ask more detailed questions, you know? Should just
I
rush into
really
things.
thought that was a real story, and you were like, I could do it a little.
Maybe just the tip. But Joel on YouTube says, I think this woman has some recent problems due... hang on. I think this woman has a scent reaction problem and needs to see a specialist. Let your
Ooh.
dude drop a deuce as needed and put out. Tim on YouTube says, as long as she doesn't expect to toss a salad. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah.
This episode of the Love Gurus is sponsored by Moonshine and Glade. Glad, I think it
Yeah,
was.
we're definitely pushing those 2 products.
Amy on YouTube says, haha, Jake said backfire. Tim on YouTube says separate bathroom is in some upper middle class shit we all strive for.
Oh my God, yes. I'm sorry. Can I tell like one more story? So this was one time at the beginning of the year, my boyfriend and I stayed in his parents' house. They weren't there, but they have 2 bathrooms. I'm not kidding. Fucking game changer. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Basically, one bathroom was designated the poop bathroom, and then the other one was, for showers and stuff. And it was just like we didn't fight the entire week.
Yeah.
Like it was just
I like that.
lovey. I mean, there were like doves flying in and out of the house. It was crazy. Oh yeah, 2
That's
bathrooms
awesome,
is a
man.
game changer.
Yeah, no, it would be nice. I mean, I've never had 2 bathrooms. I just have 1 bathroom and a sink. And I just pee very quietly if my wife's taking too
I used
long.
to live with roommates. We had one. I lived with 2 other roommates. We had a bathroom and the trash can in my bedroom. What? Ugh, fuck those 2 guys. Okay. But perfect. I think we answered that question.
All right. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People. Oh shit! Hang on. You were getting a little bit bleed from my thing I was watching.
Oh,
the
I
comments.
thought it was a remix of whoop, 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 scat, scat, scat,
Yeah,
scat.
no, that was the scat version of,
Perfect.
of the intro music. But
Because it's shitty.
No, you did!
I like that.
doo-doo puns. Lots of doo-doo puns. But we are going to take another question from the wild animals on Reddit. If you got questions to write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Also, watch live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern every single Thursday on YouTube. Let's take another one from the wild animals on Reddit.
Next question. My wife did porn when she was younger, and now copies of the video have resurfaced. Do we keep fighting? I'm 32.
Only if it was scat porn.
I'm 32 and my wife is 28. When she was 18 and 19, she did porn. Now copies have resurfaced, and we've retained lawyers to try and get all of the copies deleted, as she's extremely embarrassed by it all. I can definitely see where she's coming from, wanting to regain control of something about which she's embarrassed from her past, and that it was supposedly behind her. She's previously bought out the copyright to it, but the producer claims someone somewhere on some time downloaded a copy from a website in the past, and for whatever reason, recently decided to start reposting it, and she claims he's innocent of breaking any laws or contracts. We found no evidence that he's lying, so suing him went nowhere. A lot of servers sit in countries with regulations.
Handle the truth.
A lot of servers sit in countries with regulations that are few and or not enforced. It's difficult to track down web domain owners. Individuals who apparently have nothing better to do seem to keep posting and reposting their copies on various sites. Google and Bing agreed to block it from their search engines as best as they could, but you can still find it on the internet. We've spent $30,000 on attorney's fees, and she finds copies of the videos. I say that we should just give up, but she wants to continue, hoping that one day she'll stamp it out completely. I have my doubts that will ever actually happen. I'm trying to convince her to just let this whole thing go, and it's an unfortunate event that you just have to learn and live with the consequences. How can I convince her that continuing to spend lots of time and money on this is becoming a waste at this point?
Wow, that's not the way I saw the fight going. You know?
Really? Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I thought he was being a dick about it.
No,
Yeah.
I honestly think that's what I like. That's what drew me to this question.
Yeah.
And also because I saw the video. What? Okay.
That's
No,
an
but-
M. Night Shyamalan twist. It turns out this guy's not as much of a dick at the end.
So
as
yeah. So to give it a quick recap. So this couple are married. She did porn when she was she's 28 now. When she was 18, 19, she did porn. She's obsessively, it sounds, trying to find copies of it on the internet. They're trying to hire lawyers. He's kind of like, babe, you did some porn. It's out there. It's not great, but let's just get on with our lives. Whereas she is trying to wind back the clock and erase this thing she did in her past, which she's not proud of. And so what do you guys think? Like, do you think it's something that if she's that embarrassed, he should continue to support her and help pay for these fees? Or do you think he's right that they should just, throw up their arms and be like, porn is porn. Is porn.
I mean, I kind of feel like I'm kind of with the guy. Like, It's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like it
Because
was
he's taking
literally-
a very cool, like...
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. Like she's a completely different person than she was then.
Her
like,
tits definitely look different now.
oh, for sure, for sure.
But also, and not to be that person, but if someone, and again, you know, there's so much porn on the internet.
Yeah.
If someone keeps reposting these copies, it's got to be pretty good, right? Yeah.
Well, when she was 18 and 19, she had to do porn, and now she has $30,000 to spend.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Be proud of yourself, girl. That's
Yeah.
cool.
That is in itself like a Cinderella story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have, you know, it's like, you think about like, you know,
that's how
someone like,
broke comics are. We're like, if you have $30,000 to spend on anything, I don't care about your problems.
Right.
Literally, as soon as you said $30,000, I was like, "Oh, these assholes!
Right.
That's a shit."
yeah, because this
Share
is,
the video.
They
Who
have
cares?
Oh,
spent,
somebody spilled my caviar. Fuck you, Richie.
Yeah, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe they are in sort of like the upper echelon of society, and so she is therefore saying, we need to spend this money because otherwise we are never going to get into this New Jersey country club. You
Now,
know,
that's
like,
a good point.
If anyone was like mad at you for it, they'd have to admit that they watched it.
Exactly.
yes.
For sure.
This is like
Now that I finished coming to this, I'd like to have a word with you, madam.
yeah.
Right.
It's like that classic scenario of like being embarrassed to be in the grocery store at like 10 p.m. on a Saturday, which means you're not cool. Well, someone else has to also be in the grocery store at 10 p.m. to see you.
For sure.
So they're also not cool.
It's kind of like you ever be jerking off in a movie theater and you look over and you're like, dude, that's my friend from church. You know what I mean? And you try to hide, but then, you know what I mean? You're like, hey, wait a minute. He's, you know what I mean? And then you just wait. You're like, you know. How's it going, Deacon?
Is that what guys jerking off in a movie theater do when they make eye contact?
and then every time they do it, they have a guy in the movie theater that plays in the room the theme song from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And, and we just, you know, kind of shrug, smile awkwardly, and
Guy stuff.
then finish.
Yeah.
Just be a guy.
Bros being bros, you know?
Yeah.
But so has there ever been something in your past that you have desperately tried to hide from a relationship? There's been things I've tried to hide, you know, from someone that I was in a relationship, but to a certain point, no. Like once you're dating for a certain point, like my partner now, like I can't think of anything that, you know, is in my past that I haven't, you know, anything that's like, oh, this might be like a skeleton in the closet, you know, whatever. Like I can't think of a good example, but you know, it's like you get to a certain point where they just accept you and he accepts you. And it's like, in this situation, who is she trying to please? You know, who are all of these other people? Like she's trying to stop the internet from seeing this thing, and it's you know,
I feel like it's one of those things where like, you know, your boyfriend will be like, you don't have to wear makeup, I think you're pretty, and you're like, I have to wear makeup because I'm gonna see other women. Like, I feel like she's worried about other women.
She is
being like she's a whore.
Yeah. It's almost sounds like she's in some sort of like Stepford Wives situation,
right?
And Nicole Kidman is, or maybe she's Nicole Kidman. She's like, oh, I've got to stop myself from, you know, Faith Hill seeing me like
in the words of one of America's favorite old-timey wrestlers, when porn's on the internet of you, it's going to stay there, brother. It doesn't matter what you do. That said, he did make a small fortune. He made like Elon Musk money for getting caught fucking people. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
it worked out for Hulkster.
You know what?
She needs to
leak it. She should leak it and try to get famous. That's like well, I guess she probably wasn't fucking a celebrity, but figure it out. Yeah. Figure out a way to get famous off of it.
You either need to talk to Kris Kardashian and get famous, or talk to Hulk Hogan's lawyer and get rich.
Yes.
Do one of those two things.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see what this guy's pissed off. I mean, because like I would definitely want to get rid of it if I was her. Like I get why you would want to not have it on there. That said, he's going, well, we tried. It didn't work. 30 grand later, it's still on there. Should we spend another 30 grand and slowly go into debt while people jerk off to you anyway? You know what I mean? Like they can jerk off to you with us in a nice duplex, or we can be homeless and they're still jerking off to you.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that's odd is I wonder what maybe she had like a very specific stage name and that's what she's searching for, because you know, if you Google guy coming on woman's tits, I mean,
billions of results. Billions.
You're not not going to find your video. So it's like there has to be something specific. And again, maybe it's her stage name.
Or maybe she did something no one else would do. And
Well,
that's why she wants to
maybe
take it
that's
down.
why she wants it. Yeah,
Okay.
take
You
it
know what I
down.
mean?
True.
Yeah.
I think if it was like a regular style porn and I looked good in it, I'd be like, leave it up. You know?
Sure.
I just think because also the other thing about this is that it's almost as if another scenario is that whoever has copies of it or has downloaded it and keeps re-uploading it, it's almost like they are seeing, like someone is trying to stamp this out, so therefore I'm going to keep reposting it on different sites. There is
Sure.
I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called trolls on the internet.
Yeah,
They,
but what if it's just some guy who's like, but it's my favorite?
Yeah, he said
Right.
he's just a fan. He thinks he's helping her career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going,
Yeah.
dude,
He's
she
like,
was
"Stop
amateur.
Like she's gonna make it. She doesn't even know it
Yeah,
yet.
he loves her.
Yeah.
like this poor man in Arkansas, and his wife died.
Right.
He got married at 22. She died
my
when
God,
they
and
were
she
25,
looks like her?
and she looks like her.
Ooh.
He never remarried because he was like, I'm totally her soulmate.
Yeah.
I'm a penguin. I'm never gonna find another partner. And now he's in his 70s, and for the last 10 years. He just keeps wanting to relive this memory.
And he jerks off to it, and then he like sheds a single tear.
Right, exactly.
It's like nice. It's like sweet.
It's like a sad,
Yes.
sticky notebook.
Yes. Yeah.
He as soon as
Come
he
back
starts
to me,
bringing it,
dear.
yeah. As he's whacking it to the lady that looks like his dead wife, he's playing Unchained melodies in the background from going, "Oh my love, my darling."
That
my
is straight up
one."
romantic.
Yeah.
Like if I died and a guy was doing that, I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's watching
If
the
I-
porn and making pottery.
If I went on a first date with a rando Tinder dude and he told me that story, I'd want a second date.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the idea of this guy doing it, thinking he's helping her. He's like, "What? This is like when I retweet my favorite podcast." You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who did that, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you to Tim, thank you to Joel. But yeah, he thinks he's going like, "Man, she did 2 amateur videos. I don't know why she's not bigger. I should just keep sharing and help her out."
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying what if it's the husband?
Oh, you think the husband's secretly doing
I
it?
didn't think that until just now. Until I thought that's what you were saying.
No, I was saying just the fan thinks he's helping.
Okay,
Right,
I definitely
he's
don't
not
think
doing
it's
it to
obviously
be-
the husband's writing in the question and he spent this money.
Yeah,
but it would
30,000?
be
Fuck.
it would be
a
like
lot.
such a rich person troll thing to do. Of like,
Yes.
he's like, oh, we've spent $30,000.
Or like,
Yeah.
like he gets
Yeah.
off on like other people watching his wife get fucked, and he's like, people
yeah.
keep putting it up. I don't
Right.
know.
He's like some sort of internet cuck, and that's why he's like so versed in a lot of servers in different countries have regulations that they don't follow. It's like, how do you
Exactly. He read a lot of paperwork
how
for
do
that.
you know that?
Yeah, it's a weird nerdy cuck. That's like he's just jerking off to stream numbers of his wife's porn.
Exactly.
That's odd. That's bizarre. Like, oh, it's up another 3%. It's just looking at spreadsheets. Statistically speaking, a lot of people are coming to my wife.
Yeah, it's really. Actually, do you know what? Do you think that he's priming her and complaining about this $30,000 to then create an OnlyFans for her? Oh, I guess you can't have sex on OnlyFans anymore, can you?
Oh yeah.
You
They
can't?
took, yeah, I think they took that down. Like
They took the
yeah,
fucking off
you
of
can't.
OnlyFans.
so.
You can't. Can you still be naked?
I think they brought it back.
They did. Okay.
They brought it back. Yeah.
But I'm just
Yeah.
So maybe he's prefacing all this, sort of like really doing the legwork to then suggest to her, listen, you're obviously popular. This video you did 10 years ago is still being uploaded on the internet. Let's do an OnlyFans for you.
Also, you
and
owe me $30,000.
$30,000. Let's make it back.
Yeah,
If you vote for me in 2024, I will make OnlyFans great again. I will bring the fucking back to OnlyFans. Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden, they don't care about OnlyFans.
Oh my God, Kamala. Yeah, her whole number.
Kamala hates OnlyFans. She shames you.
I love her.
Shames the fans and the onlys. Joel on YouTube says, I don't believe the author. I'll need him to send a copy before I do what
There we go, Joel. Yeah.
Joel on YouTube says, was her last name Cuomo? Yeah. I have not seen 2 Italian brothers go down the pipes that fast since the last time I played Mario. It was
The only person who
except
really,
in this game, Bowser's protecting the princess from the Cuomo.
The only person who's really suffering in the whole Cuomo thing is their personal trainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only guy who's like, I put in so much work to these assholes. Anyway. But yeah, perfect. Do we have any final advice for them or comments?
Man. It's tough because I definitely feel for her, man, because like I've never been in porn, but one time when I was younger, a friend of mine, like on my first deployment in the Army, we had these hard drives with just a bunch of porn on them, where somebody consolidated all the porn that other people had on their hard drives, because we didn't have access to like the internet and shit. You know what I mean? But they consolidated.
That
It was
is
like
like
some.
the cutest cloud I've ever heard.
Yes, it was. It was like a terabyte of porn that just everybody copied.
Guy stuff.
Yeah, it's just guy stuff. You know what I mean? We whack off, we high five. But one of my friends came up to me and was like, "Jake, this is fucking weird, dude. I came across a porn where he looks just like you." You know, and you know how a lot of times when people say, "Hey, I think this actor looks like you," or "I think this person looks like," you'll look at it and be like, I can see a little bit of resemblance, but I mean, you know, when you look at it, you're like, that doesn't look like me. This guy looked just fucking like me, dude. It was like someone cloned me. I mean, he had my same build, he also kind of looked like Steve Buscemi. He had my little hook dick, you know, looking like a Nike swish. I was like, this is great. Hey, to the point where I was like, I feel bad for the women I've made love to. Look at that awkward password. He had my weird bird-like thrusting motion, just you know? I was like, this is not, oh my God, this is disgusting. This is horrifying. And so if it was actually me, I'd be like, yeah, I don't want people watching this. I don't want, you know what I mean?
But would you pay $30,000 for it?
Well, no, because first I would have to get 30,000.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And so that's an important step one.
Yep.
And that is another thing that I think, Suzanne, you mentioned this earlier. The fact that, see, I like to err against, and I try to mention this at least once a podcast, I like to err against the people writing a question, because A, people on Reddit are psychos, and B, this is a source that's by, for, and about them. It's their pro-them propaganda. It's their MSNBC, their Fox News, their North Korean state-run news, if they happen to inherit the entire country, right? So when they leave important details out or just kind of brush over things, I have to think it's to help their side, you know, like their argument. And his argument is, this is a waste of money, and she shouldn't be worried about it because, I mean, I get being worried, but like his thing is, his main point he seems to be making is like, we tried, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That said, he throws 30,000 out there, but what he doesn't do is like, hey, because we had a lot of detail on this question. It's not like it was a 3-sentence question. Yeah. And so he kind of, what was left out is like, hey, I mean, are you guys well off? You know, like you'd think he would be like, hey, this was at least a strain for us financially, or I make good money, but not great money. And we got, you know, like there was none of that. There was like, we spent $30,000 and then it didn't. So it makes me think that this guy's pretty wealthy. So I would say to you, sir, donate money to the Love Gurus podcast. I think that, you know what I mean? Like we need sponsors. We need sponsorships. Well, you know, if you have a vineyard, you sound like old money. If your family owns a vineyard in Croatia or wherever the hell we got that fish one from, then, you know, send us a bottle, man. Pay us to do live reads. You know.
And then you can tell his wife to cool it with the nagging about the porn.
Yeah, dude. I'll bring over and be like, look at this porn. This guy looks just like me. He's got my hook dick. Look at this. And I mean, see, I'm not getting embarrassed. You know, we all got crazy shit on the internet.
Yeah, it's something that, there's so much on the internet. Just give it another couple years, and it's totally gonna die.
Yeah, 100%. So. Can you toss me that wine bottle? I'm gonna do a little. Live read for this wine.
Something terrible almost happened, but it stopped. That's why I paused immediately.
Grant, stop getting your cufflinks cooked on our water glasses. Happens every time we invite you over.
All right, but yeah, any other final advice for them?
I think we're good. Yeah, let's do the live read.
All right. Let's take another question on Love Gurus Podcast, but first, let's hear from another one of our somewhat sort of sponsors. Do you want a delicious Sauvignon Blanc from the Marlborough region? Marlborough man. Gießen.
Ghislaine's in actually a lot of trouble, not her.
Ghislaine Sauvignon Blanc. Kid tested, mother approved.
Actually, those kids got tested. That's not funny. Okay.
Share in 4 decades of passion and craft. Whatever your occasion, there is a great, decent wine to match. Crisp and refreshing. Expect tropical fruit and citrus from this generous Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc. It even has a geese. Geese. I'm so fucking stupid. It's a goose when there's only one of them, Jake, you dumb fuck. Anyway, it has a goose. Geesen.
Love a goose.
German or something for goose. Or plural, although there's only one goose. I don't know that the number of goose. I don't know how literal this is supposed to be, the front of this bottle.
Can't you just say goose and then everyone knows you're talking about a lot of gooses?
Yes.
Ooh.
Goose with 7 O's. That means there's what? 6 geese.
Yeah, exactly.
6 geese.
Yeah. There's the original one. And then I think that's how that works.
Goose. Four.
How do we pluralize words in Nova Scotia? We add O's to them.
Canoe.
So many canoe in the river. Geese and Sauvignon Blanc. Get you some. Now let's take another question from the wild animals on Reddit.
Next question. What to do when my girlfriend is turned off by my hobby? I'm 28 and my girlfriend is 21.
What is my hobby? Taking a dump before sex.
I work part-time as a hot air balloon flight attendant and basically...
What the fuck?
Yeah.
We thought that last guy was rich. Jesus.
Yeah.
We're fucking with hot air balloon people?
I like this.
I work
Wearing monocles non-ironically?
I work part-time as a hot air balloon flight attendant, basically helping out my pilot with the passengers and everything around our balloon. It's been a long-time passion of mine, and I love to talk about ballooning but my girlfriend hates it. She thinks it's a girly thing and gets turned off by it. Is it just her? What about it might make her think so? How do I make her change her opinion?
Wow.
Now this guy is camp. This fucking fella.
Okay.
His girlfriend hates it.
So it's interesting. I'm not saying that this is... he's 28 and she's 21. And typically, once you're 28, you kind of have... I'm not saying you have everything figured out by any means, but 21 is certainly young. And the fact that his 21-year-old girlfriend is like, you're hot air ballooning is like so dumb. Like, fuck her! It's hot air ballooning. Like, people spend like $350 for one trip, and this person does it as a living.
That was a very specific price you put on that. That
Because
priced it.
it's accurate. I've looked up hot air balloon prices before, and so first
I
of all,
just assumed it would be more than that.
I'm afraid of flying, so I would never want to do it. But I have
Actually, my grandpa did that when I was a kid a few times.
like
Yeah.
in a like he made his own hot air balloon, or
Yeah, man, he made it with a tarp and a laundry
And
basket.
jumped off something.
Yeah. He's kind of like that flat earther that died building his own rockets just to prove that the Earth wasn't round.
Yeah.
It was sort of a similar thing, but
it's
But I don't know why she's complaining because my grandma said he fucked like a champ, dude. So, she said he's not camp at all. Like, this,
But yeah, so he's got this job that he loves, and he thinks it's great. He wants to talk about it all the time. She thinks it's dumb. She thinks it's girly. Now, obviously, again, as Jake said, he's saying this, but he also said something I think that is very key. We can't just give him the green light and be like, yeah, your girlfriend's a dick.
Yeah.
He said, I like to talk about ballooning all the time.
Yeah.
That's the caveat that sticks out to me as well.
Yeah. I don't personally think it's girly, but I do think he's a fucking dork for it. That sucks. Really? He said he's a hot air balloon flight attendant. Not a hot air balloon pilot.
Yeah.
Do you know how bad you gotta fuck up a Delta
That's
before
what
they
I'm
demote
saying.
you to hot air balloon?
It's balloons, and it's a dork. He's a dork. I think he's a
You think that he's the kind of person where they get on the balloon and he has like the basket of snacks and he's sort of like
something.
Yeah, he's definitely the assistant.
Yeah,
like he's not running anything.
In the sense of like,
and he says it's his hobby. I don't even know if he's getting like. I think he's just like love of the game doing this.
Oh yeah, so that means
because that's a good point.
that is
We're
a
not,
damn good point.
Yeah,
So
because
then,
he
I
does
agree
say
with
part
girlfriend.
time. Don't know what that means. If he is compensated, if he is, how much, et cetera, et cetera. So
I'm with the girlfriend then. He's a loser.
you think so?
Yeah.
You think because there's no like money in
Yeah,
it.
because like you could be a part-time volunteer firefighter. Like,
Yeah.
and make no money. Like, I just love putting out fires. You're also weird. Like,
Yes, you're spending too much time around fires or balloons or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Why are you talking about balloons all the time?
Okay, but so here's my only. Okay, so I agree with you guys, but the other side of it is this is obviously not a new thing, and she probably knew this getting into the relationship. So
Sure.
you know,
She got to take
don't-
some blame here.
So if you get into a relationship with someone knowing that they're like a massive Metallica fan, and then 6 months in, you're like, I just like hate drumming. It's like you need to kind of own the fact that you put up a facade as well in that first 6 months or whatever.
But if that isn't the case, can you imagine if you're dating someone who's like, I'm just like really getting into hot air balloons?
Ooh.
I'd be like, okay, get out of my apartment.
Yeah, like
what are you doing?
this is not the journey I wanted to go on for sure.
Oh, he's gonna propose to her in a hot air balloon.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I honestly had.
Do you think anyone's ever proposed in a hot air balloon
Oh,
and they
yeah,
got turned? And, but,
Oh my God,
but
yeah.
no, but they got turned down. And then what happens when you get rejected during a proposal? You get sad. Yeah, you get real sad. What happens when you're sad and you're 2,000 feet above the ground in some weird fucking, outdated mode of flying? Go overboard. That's right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the look on that poor volunteer flight attendant's face? And he's sitting there, standing there with snacks, and he's like, I love hot air balloons. I love
Right.
I just awkwardly stand in the corner, and I smile with a wistful look on my face. Oh my God, look, he's proposing. This is amazing. This is one of the happiest hot air balloon experiences. Oh my God, he's jumping. Oh my God. Oh no.
For that reason alone, would you rather reject someone's proposal in a hot air balloon, knowing that maybe there was a suicide risk, or reject someone at like a basketball game or something where he put, will you marry me on this board?
I would love to do either one. I think both those guys fucking stink.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
love to do either one. Because, like,
Yeah.
one is like, why are we doing this at a basketball
Yeah.
game? Like, how badly do you need his attention? And the other one is like, we're in a hot air balloon, and some freak who loves hot air balloons is standing next to us.
Yeah.
And I don't know him. And
Why's he got a boner? This
yeah,
is weird.
yes. Yeah, I would hate both. I would love to reject either of those guys.
That's
Is he turned on by us or the balloon itself? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I also got a weird vibe that this guy might be sexually into balloons.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He
fair.
does say things like he did say like, "Oh, our balloon." I don't know. I honestly, when I first read this question, I had a different take again because going in a hot air balloon.
She walks
is
in on
expensive.
pumping balloon animals.
Balloon porn exists.
Balloon
Oh
porn?
yeah, balloon
Yeah.
porn exists.
It's like they
No, but
sit
like-
on it and pop it,
Yes.
They pop it.
How?
and that's like the moment when it pops. That's like the thing.
Do they do it slowly or like all
And
at
I
once?
think there's like rubbing. Yeah.
They rub the balloons. See,
Yeah.
I just assumed that balloon porn meant somebody wrapping like one of those long, what they make balloon animals out of, like around their junk, or using it to, you know what I mean? But I don't know
Could be that
if
too.
they'd be using it to go up in themselves. I was
Yeah,
trying to, I
like
was trying to
essentially
just-
a dildo, but it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I wanted to just imply jamming balloons in their pussies and assholes, because this is a clean family
I
podcast,
just-
and I didn't want you to
I
say
don't
that.
think a balloon would be hard enough.
Yeah, you got to put heroin in there. That's the way
I
I.
also think like
That's the way I bang myself with balloons.
I think there
But
would
it's
be a
for work,
friction
not
issue.
pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys have actually, again, I was really on this person's side before I heard your input, but now I'm turned.
Before I called him a huge dork.
No, but it's a good point. Again,
Right.
I was
Yeah.
giving credibility because just going on these air balloon trips, it's very expensive. So I thought, well, he has to be kind of cool because people pay so much money. Not true. The more you pay for something, the nerdier it is. Taking point, Jeff Bezos on a fucking airspace mission.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine 13 minutes more of my life I'd want to get back than being stuck in a plane with Jeff Bezos. No
Okay,
I'm
so-
saying?
I mean, talk about a huge dork.
I think we're having some audio problems. They say Grant's is okay. Has Joel and Tim, has it been doing this the whole episode or just apparently they're saying there's like reverb.
Joe, can you hear me?
Well, he says yours sounds okay, but everybody else sounds like we're singing Purple Rain.
Ooh.
Oh, well, I have
It's like
been.
reverb.
Yeah.
Right.
That was actually on purpose. Oh, that's
Hot air balloons are so dumb.
Yeah. Okay. Is
We are
it-
kind of singing that. I don't. Maybe that helped. Maybe.
Try now.
How about now? How about now? Does it sound a little better? I mean, not if there's no. You're sitting there. We're gonna hear it. So that. Well, I don't know what no means. Does it sound better? So that means no. Okay. I don't know what
If
he
you're going
means.
to take one audio clip out of the whole entirety of the Love Gurus podcast, with Jake saying, I don't know what no means.
Ruin his life.
I don't know what number
Yikes.
is. I was like, age is just a number, you know?
He's gonna have to get into hot air ballooning.
To quote Grant Sheffield, yikes.
Hashtag free Gary Glitter. No, it started after the last moonshine plug. Well, that's fucking weird.
Well, that was
'cause
a
I didn't
while
touch
ago.
anything. Yeah, I didn't.
That was like
I
the
didn't touch
beginning.
anything.
Sounds like there's an echo.
Oh no.
We don't want that.
Oh, I see what's going on here. Hang on a sec.
That's why I got to show you.
Somehow a computer mic got turned on. There we go. That probably stopped because that's why Grant wasn't being picked up on the computer. It was doing okay. I see what fucking happened. You know what? I'm just gonna delete this off of there. How about I do that? Delete. How can I delete that? All right. Remove. There we go. Yes, I would like to remove that. Okay, so yeah, I think we should be better now.
Okay. Well, great.
Still wet vocal.
Sorry, I'm like a 5-second delay.
Yeah. No, it's more than 5 seconds, but
10, 20.
okay.
10, 9,
I think we
Right.
should be better now.
6. Okay. Okay. So our advice is shut the fuck up. That's our final advice for this guy.
Yeah.
Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up
chill
with
with the
your balloons.
balloons.
If anything,
dude.
I think he
Show with the
might.
balloons.
He doesn't understand how like lucky he is to have this 21-year-old. I never thought I'd say that sentence out loud.
Yeah.
He's actually very lucky to have this 21-year-old.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe she just wants him to like be cooler at parties.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Stop
she's
talking
like,
about your balloon.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it
not your
sucks.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's telling him, like, listen, we're hanging out with my friends from college. People
Exactly,
are
yeah,
either
yeah.
hot air balloon people already, or they don't give a fuck. all
Yeah,
right? Your
yeah.
stupid conversation about handing out peanuts for free and hot air balloons every goddamn Saturday when I'd
Yeah.
rather be doing stuff with you. That's not winning them over.
I'd
Yeah.
literally rather talk to a regular flight attendant.
Oh, for sure.
Whoa, sick burn Delta employees. But great, I think we answered that question. Should we do one lightning round?
Absolutely.
Might have to
Last
arrange
lightning
the,
round question. We are taking questions from crazy people on Reddit and from you. Write your questions in loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com or watch every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We are going to take a last one from the wild animals on Reddit.
Last question. So to preface this, we're going to do a lightning round. So we'll read the question and we'll just kind of do a quick take around the table as to what you would advise to this person. So lightning round. My husband finally decided to legally change his name to Gandalf the Balrog.
Oh, fuck me.
We've been married for 6 years. I guess he's finally decided to go through with it. I don't know if I'll be able to handle it. My husband's 32 and I'm 27, and we met at a Lord of the Rings fantasy camp around 8 years ago.
Oh, well, that's on you, dummy.
We have no children, but our
You're
dog...
supposed to go home with guys you meet at places like that. What's wrong with you?
We have no children, but our dog is named Saruman. I told
Oh,
him...
my God. You deserve this, man.
I told him I don't know how I feel about it, but he said that deep in his heart he knows that his true name is Gandalf the Balrog.
Ugh.
So I don't think I have a choice in the matter. Do I just accept it? So Lizzy, what do you think? What would you do if your husband of 6 years decided to?
I mean, I would for sure leave him. But
yeah. I mean, that's
After
not,
the hatred you had for the hot air balloon guy,
Exactly.
yeah.
But
You're
now
pulling
that
your fucking hair out now.
and now that I hear that she's also a dork, I think they should both just like walk into traffic. Like, it's too far gone. You're in your 20s and 30s and you're already this dorky. I don't like it. I think
and it's also like, you know, the
this ain't
process
good.
to change your name is not easy.
Yeah.
Like if you get like
Right.
you have some sort of like, you know, where you get adopted or you get married, that's different. But if you're just like chilling and you're like, oh, you have to like petition to a judge. You have to get a judge to agree. Yes, I think your name should be Gandalf the Balrog.
dude, the
or
amount of
whatever.
paperwork
Yeah.
for like a thing you like, that's
and
crazy.
who is he impressing at this point? Obviously, like his other like Lord of the Rings
Oh, for
fans.
sure.
Like he doesn't give a
Right,
shit
yeah.
about his wife. Like
He's the man
yeah.
of the convention. He's the man.
Yes.
He's the
Everybody knows
only guy
him.
getting laid there. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like there's 1,000 dudes at this convention, 3 women. You know, getting laid at one of those things is like winning in Squid Game. That's fucking rough,
but
dude.
see, but then as you're saying this, then maybe she is actually not that hot, but he is like he's like smoking hot, like nerd.
He's
You know
like
what I
Lord
mean?
of the Rings hot. Like
Yeah,
he's that
but not
hot.
like
not
hot,
real
hot,
people hot.
but
I don't
like,
think that's
yeah.
a thing. I don't think you can be Lord of the Rings
He's
hot.
like hot for hobbits, you know? Like
Isn't Orlando Bloom in the movies? Maybe you could be like.
Oh, he's an elf though. Yeah, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, is he a fan or was he just paid millions of dollars? Unclear.
No, I think he was a volunteer like that.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
god!
that hot air
Maybe,
flight
but what if Orlando Bloom is like totally this like massive Lord of the Rings nerd,
Yeah.
and that's why he and Miranda Kerr got divorced?
Because Miranda's like, you should be getting paid for this. It's my hobby. I'm an elf. I go to Mordor.
Yeah.
And she's like, you
And
suck,
then
dude.
and then he rebound with like skanky Katy Perry, or Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that totally is what happened.
Dude, how are you going to Lord of the Rings conventions in a post Game of Thrones world, you dumb fucks? Like, who is into that? It's like watching Twilight instead of Interview with the Vampire. It's like, no. You're watching a way shittier version of Game of Thrones. Like, there's only two types of fantasy shows and movies. There's Game of Thrones and everything else. Game of Thrones rocks. Everything else can go blow itself, you know?
I don't know. I was cool in high school, but I believe
All right, Grant. What do you think that this woman should do?
I think that she wants to get out of this relationship soon because
Yeah.
if they have a kid, the name is going to be absurd. It's going to be ridiculous. Like, there's no fucking way, bro.
if they have a kid, I'm calling CPS.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Dude, I hope they have a kid, but that kid ends up being a straight up jock. Like, he's wearing Letterman jackets all the time in high school, and they're like, hey, Kurt, who's that? Oh, it's my fucking dad, Gandalf the Balrog. And he's going to the game. He's picking him up from football practice. Oh, son, your father Gandalf the Balrog is here to drive you home in my magical mechanical wagon.
He's like sat.
Dad, I hate you.
He's like sat at like college like football recruiting, with the coach. It's like the coach of like, Ohio State or something like that. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, son, we're real interested in you playing football.
It's
the
like
dad's like,
cribbage, but with a leather ball.
would you like some meat? I don't even know what they like. You know what I mean? But he's just like being hella creepy. It's so embarrassing. But yeah. So my final advice for this woman is, look, yes, you're married, but when someone fundamentally changes something about themselves, like their name includes their name like that, I mean, that to me is, just grounds for divorce. And that's what they should do. And actually, again, less paperwork, just get divorced. Then in the divorce papers, he can rewrite what he wants his new name to be.
Yep.
And, just done.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
I say fight fire with fire, okay? He's changing it to some nerdy Gandalf shit. You change your name to something a guy like that can't stand. Megan Kelly, okay? She named him Megan Kelly.
Gretchen Carlson.
See how? Yeah. That's 100%,
Or just
But-
like-
Reese Witherspoon.
all right, Gandalf, my name is Nancy fucking Reagan. You can play at this game.
Or like find the name of the girl Gandalf had a crush on in high school that never looked at him.
Yeah.
Make that your name.
Yeah.
Joel on YouTube says, at least the husband isn't a Guar fan. He might have changed his name to Ballsack. Tim on YouTube says that's worse than trying to add a ball gag into the mix. 100%, man. I would much rather go up to my wife and be like, hey, will you put this ball gag in my mouth? And I'm changing my name to Flanta from the Lord of the Rings. She would be like, I'm divorcing you now, and I'm going to kill myself just for having been with you. This is so goddamn
Yeah.
embarrassing.
So weird. Yeah. But perfect. I think we answered that question. I think we answered all of the questions.
Absolutely.
Doubly good today.
I think so, too. This has been a fun episode. Thank you to the listeners. Thank you to our live audience. Thank you to Colin and Amy for being here. Thank you to everybody who listened and commented on YouTube. Thank you to Joel. Thank you to Tim. Thank you most of all to our two guests, man. Thank you to Lizzy Cassidy
guys.
and
So
Grant
fun.
Sheffield. Absolutely, man. You guys have been awesome. And to the listeners, most of all, big thanks. Write us questions at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Until next. Oh, and catch us live every single Thursday.
Yes.
On YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until next week, people. Later.